Alright, how you doing? Welcome to the next video in the Soldier of Fortune 2 Unreal Edition series. In this one, I'm going to show you the third person and first person animations that I've completed. What I did was I took the animations from the original game, copied them into my game, and in this video I'm going to show you a comparison between the two. So, let's get straight in. There's a couple of issues, but I'll explain that as we go. So I'll change the field of view just now to 135. Should show you more of the gun. There's a little bit of a crying problem. And just to show you the actual animation of the gun, that's it there. In this particular viewport, the gun is connected to the right hand, and so moves when you move the right hand, but that doesn't happen in the game. And so there you go. So I have, with a few small things still to do, I've completed the third person animations for all the movement and the first person animations for all the movement. I still got a couple of things to do, as you saw, with the way the legs face when he jumps, but that sort of thing. But I know about that and I'll get that fixed. I have done most of the animations for the AK-74. There's a couple of things still to do with the reload. And hold on just a second. Where is it? I'm going to the animation blueprint. That's in there. And so what I've done is no anim graph. There's separate animations for all the different weapons, and that's the animations there. That's the ones for the AK-74. So all the movement's done, and that the movement animation is what took most of the time. There's really only idle, fire, and reload for each weapon. So that's what I'm going to do next. Animations for all the different weapons. But what I'll do now is I'll give you a little look at how I actually converted the animations from the original game into the Unreal Engine version, and it's actually quite a complicated, tedious and very, very frustrating process, but I'll show you how it's done. So first thing you do is you go to your copy of Soldier of Fortune 2 Unreal Edition, you go into the base folder and you just extract the contents of all the PK3 files into a particular folder. And the two main folders you want are one, models, and this is where the GLM files, the model files are kept, so characters, average sleeves.glm is the male model, and female pants is the female model. So you extract the GLM file, keep the folder structure, and then the next one you want is the skeletons folder, which has average sleeves underscore MP for multiplayer, and that one, the average sleeves.gla for single player. You don't need the single player at all. So the multiplayer file, you've got the GLA file with all the animations, and for the weapons it's the same thing. In the weapons, AK-74, and you've got the GLA file for the animations and the GLM file for the model. For the first person animations, in the weapons folder you've got L hand for the left hand and R hand for the right hand, so you need to extract them all. So what I'll do is I'll show you how I did it. So I downloaded, there's a GLA GLM import plugin for Blender, and I'll put a link in the description if anyone wants it. There is a version that can import into the latest version of Blender, but the one I used is for version 2.7b. So I downloaded this plugin. You then go, it's a zip file you download with Python scripts in it. You then go to File, where is it? User Preferences, go to Add-ons, install add-on from file, and you load the zip file, and then you go down, once it's loaded, you go down to there, Import Export Jedi Academy Import Export Tools, and just tick that box and that makes it work. So then what you do is you open up Blender. I've got 2.7b, but if you use the latest version, you can use the latest version. If you use the latest version of the importer, you can use the latest version of Blender. So open a new project, hit A, delete everything, then go to the units section here, change to metric, and you change to Unreal Engine units, which is 0.01 meters or 1 centimeter. Press N, change start to 0.01, sorry, 1 centimeter, 0.01 meters, and change end to 50 meters. Then you go to File, Import, and Import GLM. So what I'll show you is how to do it's the same process for the third person model, but I'll show you how to do the first person model just now. So where are we? Yeah, so we've changed the units. We can change that value there, the scale, to 100 because we want it to stay the same size. Animations is all the base path is the folder that holds all the folders you extracted from the PK3 file. So in my instance, it's this OS's folder here, so I copy that, put that into there, and I put a wee backslash on the end. if you're importing the GLA multiplayer animations, you can use GLA override there and put in the name of the GLA file, because the GLM file, the model file, internally holds the name of the single player animations. So you need to use the GLA override to see the multiplayer file. But alternatively, you can go back to the model file and open it with your favorite hex editor, which is HXD for me, and come down to where it says skeleton average sleeves, and after average sleeves put _MP, and then it'll load the multiplayer file. That's an alternative way to do it, but you can just use a GLA override option in the import in Blender. So you then go to your folder which has the GLM file, which is models, models, average sleeves, and there, and all animations. Is it that one that I'm doing? No, it's not, it's the left hand I'm doing. Sorry, my apologies. Weapons, L hand GLM, and that's right, and then you hit import. And what it does is it starts to load all the animations. This only takes about 30 seconds. When I did the single player animations, it took 2.5 hours to load them all because there's so many. The multiplayer is only about half an hour, I think, but the left hand and right hand are only about 30 seconds, so it shouldn't take long. One thing is make sure, oh, it's going to crash. Hold on, is it going to crash? Could not open file, left hand default. So I think it's worked, but we'll just have to wait. I might have to do it again. Has it worked? It looks like it's okay. When you do the import there, one thing I forgot to do is delete the word default, and it won't give that error, but it's okay. So let's see. That's basically what you do there. So what I then do is save as. I'll just put this on my desktop, and I'll call it fp_hands dot blend, and I'll save that, and then I close that version of Blender and open the latest version, because that's the one I like to work with, that's the one I know. And then I open the blend file on the desktop that I've just created. So you do that for left hand, right hand, the AK-74 weapon, and what you want to import in the first person hand from Unreal Engine. So if you go into Unreal Engine, go to the content browser, create a first person project, and in first person arms characters mesh you have the SK mannequin arms, and what you do is you go export, add asset actions, export, and just put that in any way you want and save that. And you don't want a level of detail, that's okay, export, and there you go. So then you import FBX, SK mannequin arms, import, and that's that. Now you don't want to make any changes to the the arms, because that's the reference point you're going to use when you want to load things into Unreal Engine. So you don't change that, but you do have to change the left hand and right hand from the game, because the sizes are different. Although you converted the units, the sizes are different. So what we do is, wait, why is that not showing? Okay, it hasn't deleted, it hasn't imported the model, so I'll delete that, and I'll do it again. My apologies. That's because of that default thing. So units metric 0.01. Start 1 centimeter, end 50 meters. delete everything. Import GLM, scale 100, delete default, base path is the folder, animations all, and it should work this time. Models, weapons, L hand, there you go, and go for it. And there we go, 19 seconds that time. Yeah, so there you go, you've got the model there this time. So then we save as, and we won't save that. And there you go. So now we open that one in the new Blender. Open this FB hands, and there we go. So what we do is this time we import in the mannequin. There it is, and this time it's got the model with it. So we model 0, 1, and 2 is the level of details. So we hold down shift, that's not shift, we hold down shift and press the I button, and it'll get rid of the level of details we don't want. And what we do here is we click on it, click on scene root, select hierarchy, press S to scale, 2 to scale up by 2, and hit return, and that's it, the correct size now. And what you do is you repeat that same process for the right hand and the weapon, but I've already done it, so I don't have to go through that process. And where are we? So fbhands_mp is the one I've already done, and what you end up with is the weapon, which you then place in the correct position within the hand, and I've parented it to the right hand. And where are we? There we are. And then you have the 2 pink arms from the original game, and the first person hands from the Unreal Engine, and you just, well, let me go through some animations. 2710. Yeah, so 2710 is where I put the animations for the reload. So you then start, you copy the animation from the left hand to a spare place in the timeline, which I decided was frame 2710. You then copy the same animations, you copy the same, hold on. From the PK3 files, you have the .frames file in the same folder as the animations, one for L hand, one for R hand, and if you look through that, you have, and it tells you where in the GLA file the animations are. So here you have AK-74 reload, starts at 160 and is a duration of 26 frames. So you go, once you've got all the animations loaded in Blender, you go to 160 and you copy 26 frames worth of keyframes to location 2710. You then do that for the right hand, but in the right hand from our hand.frames, the start frame is 24 and 60, not 160. No, that's the wrong one. 40 and 26, not 160. So you for the right hand, you then copy the keyframes from 40, copy them into 2170, and if I click on the skeleton for the left hand, that's the keyframes there for the left hand, that's the keyframes there for the right hand. And what you do is you start at 2710 and you move forward a frame, and as you can see, as you move forward a frame, the left hand moves, pulling out the magazine for the gun, it completes, and then the right hand loads the weapon. And what you do is, for each frame, you move the first person arms from Unreal Engine into the same position using the same moving the hands, wrists, arms and fingers all into the same position as the arms, as the left and right hand from the original game. And then once you've done all 26 frames, what you do is you can get rid of the left and right hand, and you can just play it, and it shows you what it's doing there. And when you're happy with it, what I found is that once I copied all the movements, it was a bit jerky, a bit sketchy, so you then have to go through and smooth it all out. But once you do that, you then just export it as an animation, and it's import it into Unreal Engine, and you can use that for the first person hands. And that's how you do it. So I did that for basically all animations, all movement animations, third person and first person, for the male character. You still have to do it for the female character, but I'll do that later on. And then I've done all the animations, the idle, reload and firing animations for the AK-74. So the movement animations I've done, it's just the weapon animations that I need to do now. So I can get rid of that. So just to show you what I did, client animations, male. That's the 3 animations here for the weapons for the AK-74. That's all the animations that I created for the third person character. And as I say, I've still got a couple of things to do, but that is mostly all the movement animations and the AK-74 animations done. Just got the animations for the other weapons to do. So, moving forward, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an alpha version of the game and release it on my website. It will be version 0.1.1. It's going to be deathmatch only with a maximum of 8 players, so up until I can work out the netcode. I'll have the animations for all the different weapons. So for the knife, the 3 pistols, 3 SMGs, 2 shotguns, 4 rifles and 4 grenades. I'll then have all the systems in place for pickups, health, armour, grenades, getting shot, damage. I'll have a weapon algorithm that determines how much damage the bullets do, what path they take, that's based upon bullet caliber, muzzle velocity, whether it's got a silencer, a stock, recoil, that sort of thing. It'll have all the different input. It'll have the ability for you to decide what keys do what. It'll have player injury and death. I haven't copied in any of the death animations from the original game, because what you do is when the player is killed, you turn off input, and then you turn it into a physics body that is then going to act in the way it would as if it had actually been shot in real life. So I'm going to do an in-game UI, a proper in-game UI. I've been watching the old SoF2 videos on YouTube. There's a YouTube channel called Vithis UK, I think it was, and he's uploaded a lot of the old clan-based videos of people playing SoF2, the different teams that were part of clan-base. And I've been watching it, and I've seen the different versions. And it's not just the gold version having on those videos. They have all the different versions of SoF2, and I quite like the UI design from version 1, not the gold version, from version 1. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to recreate a UI based upon the version 1 of the original game. So it's going to have the weapon info, player status, a proper map and mini-map, kill reports and all the different messages, and the ability to ghost the opposition when you die. I'll update the level. It's going to be in the Jordan level that I've created, but I'll update it with crates, companion canopies and some basic lighting, and then it will have the ability to create, it's not going to have dedicated server, but it'll have the ability to create a local server that you and a few friends can play, and you can test the game, this alpha version of the game. What I'll do is I'll build the game, I'll get it working, basically a complete version of the deathmatch that had all the components that the original game had. There's going to be a lot of things I put in the game that the original game didn't have, but I'm not going to release that. The demo version that I'm going to create, I'm going to release incrementally, updating it with all the different aspects of the game that I add to it. And hopefully you guys can download it, play it, and give me some feedback. And there's a couple of ways you can do that. One, I'll set up a website. I've created the website and I bought the domain SoF2UE.com, but I haven't got the hosting yet. I haven't uploaded the website to the domain, to the internet. But once I've got that, I'll get an email address, feedback@sof2ue.com, and you can either email me your experience, suggestions, bug reports, that sort of thing, or if you want, you can make videos of you playing it and put it online on YouTube with the hashtag SoF2UE, and I can watch videos and get feedback that way. So I'm going to create an alpha version 0.1.1 that's a complete deathmatch based upon what the original game had, and I'll put that out as a zip file on my website with a link on the YouTube video, and you can get a copy of it, play it, and let me know how you get on. Let me know what you think. So that is where we're at so far. I'm quite happy with the way the animations have turned out. That's not the complete end result though. What I want you to understand is that this is the first step. I'm going to get everything from the original game and get that into my game and have that as a starting point for moving forward. Now, Unreal Engine has done a sample project with 500 high quality free animations. I'm going to take that and see how that develops and incorporate and combine that with the animations from the original game, and by integrating those two things together, that is what the animations are going to become ultimately as the game moves forward. So anyway, I think that's everything I wanted to show you. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you like where we're going. And thank you very much for watching. And until next time, see you later.